got this big attraction and stuff. Talking about attractions, what attracted you at the age of 8 to start programming?
Okay, well, first, thank you all for having me, and thank you for that really nice introduction. Well, I started programming when I was really little. My dad got me into it, and so I had a lot of the, I think, stereotypical like engineering toys, Legos and a Erector set, and I spent a lot of my childhood just like kind of building stuff and tinkering, and so programming was the, I think, natural evolution. And so I'm really, actually one of the things I'm probably most thankful for in life is that I stumbled across one of my life's passions, programming, when I was a little kid.
But was your dad was he into computer science that he introduced you, or he just bought you Texas Instrument or Commodore or something and said, Steve, do this with me?
By trade, he was a mechanical engineer.
Okay.
So he spent 30 years at General Motors. Mm-hmm. And if I recall, he did a little work with EDS, who was a partner of GM back in the day. And so he programmed a little bit for like a year or so. But in that era, so this would be like the late 80s, early 90s, in some ways learning programming was actually a lot easier because every PC shipped with a programming environment. And even the basic manuals for like DOS had basic like programming guides in them.
But what do you mean programming environment for us lay people?
So there's a program that I learned in called GW Basic, which allowed, so Basic was a programming language created by Bill Gates a long time ago. And so GW Basic, I forget what the GW stands for, but allowed one to program in BASIC. So it's a relatively simple language. But at the time, even like magazines, so the equivalent of PC Magazine back then, I forget what it was called, would actually have code in it. And so the way I learned is I would just type in the code for the program and then start tweaking it to make it do other stuff. And then later is QBasic, and all these things shipped for free with DOS. And so it was actually, in a sense, very accessible.